Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams and thank you for stopping by the Bella Boulevard blog and YouTube channel. All this week, the Bella Boulevard team has been working from Pinterest images. So the team has gone and found an image on Pinterest that is inspiring to them. And so I went on Pinterest and the image that I found that I wanted to work with today is a quilt. And this is the image that I found. So the layout that I'm making today is inspired by that photo, and you'll see how in just a minute. So, but first I gathered a few supplies to work with today. Most of, if not all of my supplies today come from the You Are Loved collection. And this was released, I believe, this last summer. So it's one of their more recent releases. And it's an illustrated faith collection. And it's one of my favorites of theirs. I really love the colors. The paintings are gorgeous. And I've spent a lot of time playing with this collection. So this is what I pulled to play with today. So I only used one piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper, and that's this one. I don't know if you can see it. It's a pink painted, just kind of some dry brush strokes with kind of dark pink and onto lighter pink and even a tiny bit of white. But before we get to the background image, I wanted to show you how I got to that part. So with only using one piece of pattern paper, I should say one piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper, I pulled a lot of my other pattern papers from the 6 by 8 paper pads. And I did this for a couple of reasons. One reason was so I didn't cut into every single piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper I had in this collection. And the second reason is because that I like the scaled down prints. Since I'm cutting papers into smaller strips, the smaller prints are going to look better with the smaller scaled back prints. So I mostly used the pattern papers. There's two 6 by 8 paper pads in this collection. One are the clear cuts, so they're all transparencies. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but they're transparencies. And I did use a few of these, but mostly I stuck within the 6 by 8 paper pad. And as you can see, I've used a lot of those papers already. So what I did was I first went and cut a whole bunch of these just white cardstock pieces, and they are, let's see, I've got 9 of these, and they are 3.5 inches square. And then what I did is I just went through and picked out some of my favorite patterns from the 6 by 8 paper pad and cut them into strips in varying widths. So some of them are down to 1/4 of an inch, and some of them are as thick as 3/4 of an inch. And then all I did was just took my adhesive and put it on half of the block, or half of my square of pattern paper. So essentially half of the quilt block. And then I just took the patterns and carefully just going from corner to corner, I just adhered the patterns like that. And I just went with lots of different strips. Some of them I used the back side so it was more solid. On some of them I used the whole, all of them are pattern. Some of them have bigger strips and some of them are just smaller strips. I just went with what looked good to me. I did try to, and I don't think I messed up on any of these, but I did try to make sure that there were no two of the same pattern touching. Anyway, so I just went along and cut or filled half of the squares just like that. And then I just flipped it over and took my scissors and trimmed along the side. So, and then you'll want to save these. I used a lot of these again. Even these little tiny bits can fit on the corners of your squares, so don't throw these away until you're completely finished. And even then, I saved some of my small scraps for other projects. Okay, so we'll set those aside for just a minute, and I'll pull in here my background that I have mostly finished. Initially, I wasn't going to use the black cardstock, but when I laid these squares on my background, I felt kind of like they got lost. So I did end up cutting just 9 squares of black cardstock and just cut them slightly larger than 3.5 inches. So now that my background is good to go, I just have one photo that I want to use on this layout, and it's just this photo of my daughter and my niece, and in my crazy messy kitchen they were making pancakes the other day, and so I just snapped a quick photo. So I'm thinking that I want my photo to go somewhere in this lower section of the layout. So something like this. I pulled together a title from a couple of different themes. One are these homespun cardstock stickers, and they're from Illustrated Faith. These are the Olive You color. The other portion of the title, this little happy transparent die cut, I fussy cut from, you know what, I'm not positive. I think it's this one from the transparency, but it does come from the You Are Loved 6x8 clear cut pad. So the title for this layout is just Happy Cooking, and I'm gonna have it go something like that. I did put my letter stickers on a piece of wax paper just so I could move them around until I was sure of the placement. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put my title and my photo right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place the letter stickers first, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and, to keep the happy portion of the title in place, I'm just going to go ahead and use my stapler. And then now that I have my title in place, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my photo. So the next main element that I need to make sure that I have enough room for is my journaling. And I went ahead and typed up my journaling on my typewriter, and I'm gonna go ahead and just adhere my journaling. So the last sentence of my journaling just says, I love these two girlies, and then I just typed up the date. And I'm going to put those right there under the photo, and then the rest of the journaling over here. Okay, so now I've got my title and my journaling and my photo in place. So I'm going to do a little bit of embellishment, and I don't, as I mentioned earlier, I don't want a lot of embellishment on this page because it's already pretty busy with all of the quilt blocks, I guess you could say. So I've pulled just a few things from the You Are Loved collection, and I found this die cut, and I thought these would look really cute in the corners of my blocks. I do think I'm going to turn this one though kind of up like that. So I'm kind of creating a diagonal line from this upper left corner down to the bottom right corner with my embellishments. So I have a few tabs that I pulled from the Tabby's die cut pack, and I thought just a few of these tabs would look cute here at the top of my photo. And I just picked out a few that I like the sentiment and of course the colors. I'm gonna scoot this down just a little bit because I just want my tabs to be inside this box right here. The only thing that I want to be in these grid lines is my photo, and I knew that my photo was gonna overlap obviously because it's bigger, but with everything else I'm trying to keep it within the blocks. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere these die cuts in the corner. So I've got a tiny bit of washi tape that it's an older product of Bella's, but I really like this pink stripe. This is probably one of my most used washi tapes that Bella has ever designed. It's just a really fun pink stripe. And I don't like to put washi tape over my photos, but I kind of like the illusion that my photos are taped in place. And so I do add washi tape above and below my photos every so often. Okay, the next thing I wanted to add was a few stickers from, this is just the cardstock stickers that go along, or that come with the You Are Loved collection. And I just like some of these hearts, and I wanted to add a couple more hearts just in these bottom corners where I put these flowers. Okay, the very last finishing touch that I want to add to this page is just a little bit of ink and just a little bit, just a little bit of spray ink. So I'm just going to protect my work surface here with a few paper towels, and I'm also going to take this one and just fold it and lay it carefully over my photo because I don't want to get any ink on my photo. So I've got just some black spray mist here, and this I've had in my stash for a long time. I'm just going to add a little bit, and then another that's got a mint color. And I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle that on the same areas. And I think with that, we'll call this one finished. So thank you for stopping by the Bella Blvd blog and YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Thanks again for stopping by.